the barbell back squat. There's lots of variations of this, so we're focusing on a more quad dominant Olympic style upright version. You can, depending on your leg length, depending on your sport, so the type of sport you're doing or whether you're a power lifter, you may lift differently to this, but for the general population, this is what we're aiming for from a back squat. So first things first, in our rack, we're going to set up the bar so that the top of the, so that the bar with the J hooks is set around just below shoulder height when I'm standing next to it. That's going to make sure that we can rack and unrack easily without having to get up onto tippy toes or squat down too much to get it back on the rack. Second thing is we're going to set the safety bars to make sure that we've got something underneath us if that bar were to drop, if I wasn't able to squat it back up. With our setup complete, now we're going to work on our positioning. First things first, we need hand positioning on the bar. If your shoulders are very, very tight, we may need a wider grip, but I want you to take as narrow a grip as your shoulders will allow. And I measure this with my thumb against the end of the knurling. So some people might be able to have their hands right at the edge of the knurling. Some people might be able to have the crease of their thumb at the edge of the knurling. Some people might have the tip of their thumb, etc., etc. Make sure that they are equal, both hands. If you offset your grip, you're going to have a very wonky squat. So I make sure I have an equal grip with my hands. I wrap the bar. I'm going to step under and place this across my shoulders, not up high on my neck. So I'm pinching my shoulder blades together, putting this on my shoulders. There's a ridge just above your shoulder blades. I get into a nice squatted position before I've lifted the bar. I'm going to come straight up, and if the bar's at the right height, I should be able to walk straight back. That is your setup for the back squat. In this position, set your feet maybe just over hip width apart, toes pointed outwards slightly. You're going to squat down as low as you can. Once you've hit the bottom, big drive up. Depending on your flexibility and your knee health, you may not get that low, but you're getting as low as you can with a nice upright posture. Push. So the key here is knees track over the toes nice and straight. I keep those knees in line with my middle toe. So if my toes are pointed out, my knees will point out slightly. And I keep my posture as upright as I can. Now, some people, they might find this is as low as they can go, and their knees or their back or their hips stop them, and they come back up. That's fine, but you're aiming for as low as you can. So down, back up. Now, very importantly, when we're done with the back squat, if the J hooks are set at the right height, I should be able to walk straight forwards, hit the upright portion of the J hook, and lower down. If the J hook was set too high, I would struggle to get over and onto the J hook. When I'm really tired after a squat, that's a problem. If the J hook is set too low, I may find that I hit the rack above the J hook, again, making my rack unsafe. So on your warm-up, double check, is this the right height? Remember, once you get some weight on the bar, you may get compressed a little bit. So make sure that the J hook is maybe a little bit lower than you think it needs to be. So that is the barbell back squat.